This video essay explores the neo-noir influence within Batman Begins, dissecting the creative decisions made by director Christopher Nolan, cinematographer Wally Pfister, and editor Lee Smith. Between the cinematic spectrum of realism and formalism, this film falls classicist, a stylized manipulation of the medium used to tell a fantastical story entirely realistic within its respective context. The film follows millionaire Bruce Wayne as he embarks on a journey to avenge his parents' murder by fighting the criminals of Gotham. Scarecrow, his first major adversary, aims to plunge Gotham City into a lawless Armageddon, which Batman, Bruce Wayne's alter ego, intends to put a stop to. This dark plotline is told through a noir lens. French for black film, film noir explores the tension between residual American culture and urbanism in the 1930s, and its social innovations accompanying World War II. This genre typically follows a detective plotline, allowing audiences to immerse themselves within the societal effects of war, the harassed working class, petty criminals, seedy gambling joints, and ramshackle urban neighborhoods. In essence, this is envisioned as the dark underbelly of Gotham. Though nuanced in its adaptations, Batman Begins' creative team has collaborated proficiently to draw inspiration from the noir genre. Christopher Nolan has a history of integrating film noir characteristics into contemporary Hollywood films. From his first movie Following to the infamous Dark Knight trilogy, Nolan has become renowned for consistently incorporating film noir tropes such as low-key lighting, flashback-heavy narratives, crime-riddled plotlines, femme fatale characters, and doomed protagonists. By drawing on these elements, Nolan's style seeks to subvert the conventional superhero movie narrative, to challenge the protagonist's moral standpoint. We can see an example of this moral conflict, enhanced by neo-noir, in a scene that occurs at 24 minutes into Batman Begins, wherein Bruce Wayne recalls a memory in a flashback sequence. In this scene, a 20-year-old Bruce testifies at the trial of his parents' murderer, who he intends to shoot for revenge. In an unexpected turn of events, the man is assassinated before he can do anything by one of Falcone's hitmen, a blonde female reporter. This scene clearly represents Nolan's neo-noir style through the femme fatale cameo simultaneous to Batman's plunge into moral dissension. Christopher Nolan has chosen to depict Batman in such a violent manner to immediately set him apart from other superhero protagonists. In addition to our hero being morally questionable, the villain of the scene also defies our expectations by presenting as an attractive young blonde woman. This sequence was created by Christopher Nolan to solidify the message that seeking revenge is always the wrong course of action and makes you worse than the villain. Which is why, shortly after, Bruce Wayne vows never to kill anyone. In spirit, Batman Begins reads as a film noir crime drama whose protagonist just happens to be a comic book superhero. The film is also the first of many collaborations between Nolan and editor Lee Smith, and just as these other facets of his films have been influenced by noir, editing is no exception. Nolan's biggest trademark is arguably his affinity for non-linear plotlines, and this use of disjunctive editing to navigate between stages of a story is recognized as a key component of film noir. Two of the most famous noir films, Citizen Kane and Double Indemnity, feature opening scenes that take place towards the end of the story, proceeding to recount most of the plot through flashback. Nolan takes this approach in Batman, beginning on Bruce's training with the League of Shadows and subsequently cutting back and forth between his origin story. This can seem like an unnecessarily convoluted way to tell the story, but together, Nolan and Smith are able to do so concisely and effectively. In fact, Smith explains that when working with Nolan on Batman Begins and each film since, he tries to strike a balance between fulfilling the director's vision and the needs of the audience, saying, "Chris does make very complicated films, and I think my job in the whole process is to just try to keep it as understandable as you can." Cinematographer Wally Pfister has combined modern filmic techniques with the visual language of neo-noir to create Batman Begins' authentic aesthetic. Pfister has worked on many projects with Christopher Nolan and views film as a collaborative process, treating cinematography as cinematography by using the craft as a quote-unquote enhancer of the final product. This philosophy is apparent in Batman Begins as he accentuates Lee Smith's non-linear editing through lighting and composition via medium shots, close-ups, and mild lighting in the flashbacks of Bruce. Pfister displays that his childhood days were him at his happiest when Gotham was in its prime. His parents were alive, the economy was good, and crime was low. In juxtaposition to these gentle visuals, the film adapts more neo-noir cinematic attributes after the death of his parents, catalyzing the fall of Gotham. Pfister uses his signature IMAX spectacle wides, which build worlds in a single frame, to immerse Bruce within the gritty hollows of capitalism. As the hero stands akin to the threatening skyscrapers, he symbolizes a modern vision of purgatory. Pfister extends upon this through high-contrast lighting inspired by noir classics. Bruce's face is split in shadows, reflecting the duplicitous life of a superhero detective who walks between wealth and crime. This use of cinematography allows viewers to navigate the darkness of Gotham's transparent social structure through an unpredictable agent of morality. By taking inspiration yet creating innovative nuances from film noir, Wally Pfister enhances the plot of Batman Begins. By taking inspiration yet creating innovative nuances from film noir, Wally Pfister enhances the plot of Batman Begins, giving depth to the protagonist who may be authoritarian, violent, sadistic, but in a world of endemic corruption, he is the least worst option. In essence, the creative team of Batman Begins collaborates efficiently to bring the influence of classic film noir to modern screens. Through Christopher Nolan's creation of an unlikely detective, enhanced by Lee and Pfister's contributions to the non-linear plot, Batman subverts the typical superhero genre. By employing specific filmic techniques, this creative team managed to tell a film noir crime drama from the unconventional perspective of a vigilante hero.